The waves were hitting you hard.
3 people rescued from the water on Lido Beach today. What we know this evening. Plus, new information about the victims killed in a Bradenton double murder as deputies reveal where the suspect could be hiding. And an argument over a parking spot ends in a deadly shooting in Clearwater. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Our crew arrived just minutes after 3 people nearly drowned at Lido Beach this afternoon. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live from Benjamin Franklin Drive on Lido Beach with the details that we know tonight. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, a day at the beach turned very scary. 2 adults and 1 child had to be saved.
It's very scary to think that happened to someone.
Jasmine App and her family were enjoying the beach right next to the 3 people who nearly drowned. A 40-year-old woman, a 40-year-old man, and a 10-year-old boy had to be rescued from the rough waters of Lido Beach Monday afternoon.
If you weren't a good swimmer, they would be hard to swim in. The waves were hitting you hard.
Fire officials say the beach patrol had helped save the 3 from the waters. Then lots of emergency personnel were on hand to do their part to help.
We knew that there was 1 patient out there in the water. As we were en route to the call, once the fire department units got on scene, we determined that there were 3 patients in total. So we upgraded the level of response for that to bring multiple fire department units to the scene in collaboration with Sarasota Police Department.
The 2 adults were transported to Sarasota Memorial Hospital while the child was airlifted to All Children's Hospital. Their conditions are unknown at this time. Fire officials are urging folks to be extra careful around the rough surf.
We always advise people with rip currents that they need to stay close to lifeguard stands and be mindful of that, be mindful of the swimming conditions that the lifeguards post with their advisory flags.
And investigators are still trying to figure out exactly what happened here. As soon as we find out more, we'll certainly pass it along to you. Reporting live from Lido Beach, I'm Rick Adams. Jacqueline, back to you.
Thank you. New at 11, 5 people also rescued from rip currents on Clearwater Beach today. City officials say 2 separate incidents happened within an hour of each other. Here's what we do know. A man and his son were stuck in the strong seas yelling for help around 7:15 this evening. Firefighters responded and 1 crew member was able to swim out on a surfboard to help the 2 get back to shore. About 45 minutes later, 3 more swimmers were rescued by a fire medic on a surfboard. None of those swimmers required medical attention. And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now. And Bob, it is so important, of course, to know the surf conditions before getting into the water.
Especially here in Florida, we have the most deaths in the United States as a result of rip currents. So this was a photo taken earlier around noon today at Lido. And just look at all the high surf all across that area, up and down area beaches along the west coast due to the strong west to southwest winds up to about 15 to 20 knots. And it's been steady for the past week now, that westerly flow. And so that just builds up all the water along the coastline, has to fight to get back out, and it creates these little channels of fast moving water, which is very difficult to swim against. Obviously, those will continue. That rip current advisory is in effect through tomorrow evening, so it's not going away anytime soon. And we are going to see some more late night showers and a few isolated thunderstorms. Don't think they'll be as rough as they were last night in Manatee County. The low pressure system moves out of here late Wednesday. So we're going to stay in this pattern, I think, with this westerly flow with a good chance for showers and storms scattered about throughout the next 36 hours. And then things will start to change a little bit as we push on in to late Wednesday and Thursday. There's the low. You can see the rotation moving in this counterclockwise swirl. This low will eventually push on out of here, and then we will see high pressure building in from the south, which will keep us still in that westerly wind, but it shouldn't be as strong. Well, more on that coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. We'll talk to you then. A fire this afternoon destroys a Bradenton home with 19 dogs inside. Fire officials say 2 of the dogs died. 8 were found to be safe. The search does continue for 9 other dogs. A call for a residential structure fire in the 600 block of 26th Avenue West came in around 4 o'clock this afternoon. People who were in the home at the time of the fire were able to escape unharmed.
When we arrived, all the occupants were out. They were in the front of the house. They were frantically communicating to us that there were animals inside. We immediately made entry and performed a search.
Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused this fire. A suspected murderer is on the run after a fatal shooting in Bradenton over the weekend. Tonight, we're hearing from one of the victim's friends. Deputies are actively searching for Joe Claire Justy, wanted for murder in connection to Sunday's double homicide behind a shopping plaza on Cortez Road. The sheriff's office says one of the victims was found dead at the scene. Another was pronounced dead at Manatee Memorial Hospital. Deputies also revealed today there is a fourth person involved in this case they are now calling a witness. Zachary Watson says he wants his friend Caleb Bowman to be remembered as a genuine, caring person.
The kid had a lot of potential. It's really tragic that somebody just takes it away like that.
Manatee County Crime Stoppers is offering a $3,000 reward for information leading to Claire Justy's arrest. Anyone with information is asked to call the number on your screen, 866-634-TIPS. A Venice woman is behind bars after Sarasota Sheriff's deputies removed over 30 neglected animals from her home. Elaine Wells was arrested for DUI last month and requested animal services to respond to her home on Pineapple Place to care for her animals. Now, we do want to mention that some viewers may find pictures involved in this investigation disturbing. Animal Services found 34 exotic birds flying around the residence. Several birds were underweight, suffered signs of self-mutilation, and lacked access to food or water. They also impounded a 15-year-old Boston Terrier. Wells is charged with 3 misdemeanors, including cruelty to animals. Debate has sparked over the controversial Stand Your Ground law after a man walked away with no charges after he shot and killed a father of 3 over a parking space in Clearwater. The Stand Your Ground law allows anyone in the state of Florida to fight violence with violence and defend themselves if they believe their life is in danger. However, one local criminal defense lawyer says he believes some police are not interpreting that law correctly.
I mean, if a guy pushes you in a parking lot and he just pushes you to the ground, that shouldn't give you the right to pull a gun out and kill the guy because you did not reasonably believe that you were about to be killed.
The local activist group Answer Suncoast says they're pairing up with other organizations such as Black Lives Matter to circulate a petition and put together more protests against this law and the injustices they believe it's creating with people of color. Well, school security has been a hot topic across the country, and the deadline to have something done by the next school year here in Florida is quickly approaching. On this first day of training, 20 guardians received their guns, then went to the shooting range. The district says it only has 3.5 weeks to train the first group. The director of safety and security for the district says he's confident that they will be ready because 80% of them are retired law enforcement or military. The state requires these guardians to undergo 144 hours of training. It includes 80 hours of firearms instruction, 8 hours of active shooter education, and 12 hours of a diversity training program.
The next 3.5 weeks, we'll be training them either on live fire ranges or in schools to prepare them to be ready for their objective.
Another group of 20 guardians will start training as soon as this group finishes on August 20th. The Florida Highway Patrol wants to lower the number of pedestrian accidents in Manatee County. As a part of their new program called PEDS, they'll be teaching people about safety. The idea is to cut down the number of injuries and deaths through education and enforcement. Tomorrow, they'll be in West Bradenton on Cortez Road and 26th Street from 7 to 9 in the morning. FHP says this is an area that is prone to pedestrian and bicycle crashes. And Sarasota police officers want your help packing the patrol car, with school supplies, that is. School starts in less than a month, and teachers can use all the help they can get. From now until Friday, August 10th, you can stop by the Sarasota Police Department and drop off your donations between 6 in the morning and 9 o'clock at night. Last year, they collected more than 2,000 school supplies donated by the community. Officers are accepting school supplies for all ages and grade levels, including backpacks, pencils, pens, highlighters, and much more. For a full list of everything the schools need, you can go to our website and search for this story, mysuncoast.com. Well, home sales in Sarasota and Manatee County continue to rise. That's according to the Realtor Association of Sarasota and Manatee. It says the Suncoast market has stayed on trend with increasing home sales, rising median prices, and low inventory in June of 2018. A new feature film called The Watchman's Edict making its debut tonight at the AMC20 movie theater in Bradenton. The lead actor of the movie was born and raised right here on the Suncoast. ABC7's Dwayne Lindo attended that premiere to find out what it was all about.
Think about it. A world where crime is foiled during its conception. Overpopulation's a thing of the past. The power to oversee everything.
Making its debut, a new political thriller. Hundreds made their way to the red carpet event to see lead actor Troy Williams, graduate of Bradenton Southeast High School, play the role of an investigative reporter digging into a government conspiracy.
When they put a casting call up for it, I was like, man, let me get my stuff together, and I went and auditioned for it, talked to the director, and I landed the role.
It was the first time the movie's director, Brian Boykins, directed a feature-length film, saying he wouldn't trade in the experience for anything. And as far as casting the lead, he says he made the right choice.
We knew what we were looking for, and I seen his work all over the place. And when I saw him, I just reached out and was like, hey, man, I kind of want you to audition for this role. He sent back a tape, and the rest is history.
Williams, starting out as a basketball player in high school, says it was fairly easy to make the transition from athlete to actor.
As athletes, we train to be the best, you know, so you apply some of the same principles that just always improving, focusing on improving. Just like we study game film with basketball and football, we do the same thing as actors.
Feeling confident that he can take it to the next level.
I do want to be the new Blade, you know, when Wesley Snipes retires it, you know, I know he's getting older, so they need someone I can play that role better than anyone. But obviously I see myself maybe becoming a series regular on a top major network show.
Well, that was Dwayne Lindo reporting. Now, Williams is a University of Central Florida graduate, and he says he wants to give back to his community in any way he can. Stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus victims of the fatal mass shooting at a Las Vegas country music festival outraged after being sued by the company that owns the hotel where that gunman opened fire. And an unexpected building collapse in Miami over the weekend, all caught on camera.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
The Suncoast was anything but this morning. Strong storms rattled parts of Manatee County. This is a look at the scene around 28th Avenue East in Palmetto. Neighbors there are cleaning up damage that was left from a storm that rolled through around 5 o'clock this morning. At the Coach House Mobile Home Park, wind gusts curled siding on some homes. The wind also damaged a few roofs, twisted a street sign, and snapped a power pole.
It just all of a sudden just hit right now. And my whole trailer just shook. In fact, I thought it was gone, and but it only lasted about 3 seconds.
Well, the bulldozer was brought onto that property to help clean up that debris. I know there were some other reports that you've been having people call in and tell you about.
Right, someone's on my Facebook right now talking about it. They had some tree limb damage as well into east portions of Manatee County. Sarasota kind of avoided the heavy weather. A downburst occurred, so it wasn't a tornado according to the National Weather Service. It was a downburst with the dying storm. As it collapses, it sends out a pretty fast moving stream of air, or wall of air, if you will, and it got up to 40 to 50 miles an hour from that damage right there. We are looking at the sky tonight. Not much of a sunset. Fred Seeger got a little glimpse of the sun, but more importantly, a lot of people saw the green flash in the sky. Again, the green flash in the sky, the meteor. We had a meteor that went on by, and it moved from the southwest to the, I should say, the southeast to the northwest, and was right around 9 o'clock. Just after 9 o'clock, the reports are coming in, and it was pretty bright too, and it looked green, and the Delta Aquariids are happening right now. The peak is coming up here a little bit later, but this week we'll see the possibility of some of those again tomorrow. So a little glimmer of sunlight. You can see some of these crepuscular rays coming up. These are shadows caused by a result of these clouds that you see off in the distance, little higher storms off there that create a shadow on some of the higher clouds that are closer to us. Now, as far as the radar picture goes, not a lot of action right now, and that's a good sign. We are going to see some shower activity overnight. We could hear some rumble of thunder, but nothing like what we saw last night and this morning in Manatee County. You can see this is rather bow echo looking, but it's not very intense as far as the storms go. They are moving to the east at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. And as far as the distance goes away from us, they're 30 miles away. So in a couple of hours, they could be near the coast and could be causing some shower activity as it makes its way through. But right now, it doesn't appear that it's going to be anything too significant as we move on through time. The rainfall missed a lot of Sarasota, but it fell in areas that really doesn't need the rain, in fact, in DeSoto County, also into northeast Manatee County, and there are some flood warnings that are still up now at the Manatee River at the Myakka Head. That's running about 1 foot and 2 inches above flood stage and not expected to go below flood stage until Friday, and another flood warning in effect for central portions of Hardy County. Well, the moisture is still around, the moisture content. You can see it is thinning out, though, as some drier air is starting to entrain around this low pressure system in the upper level of the atmosphere. Now, this is going to open up and head out of here, and we're going to see high pressure develop from the south and move north over the next several days. The forecast model, this particular model indicating it didn't really show that bow echo right there, or at least that line of showers, so it may be off a little bit as far as timing goes, but it does indicate that we will still see some energy move through, rotating around that area of low pressure that's located over the southeast United States, and could bring some moderate to heavy rainfall. Rain chances are fairly high. Temperatures currently 82 in Sarasota. It's 79 now into Orlando. Temperatures around the area, all in the low 80s. In fact, Northport at 84, 84 in Venice. Same in Cortez, and the Gulf water temperature has cooled down to 87 due to the high surf action that we've seen. It's kind of cooled up a little bit. Right now, it's not sunny, but we have partly cloudy skies and The temperatures into the mid 80s, feeling more like in the upper 80s. Temperatures currently across the U.S. Detroit now at 73. A nice evening there. 71 in Chicago, but still hot in Dallas. It's been hot all week last week, and it is this week too. 109 in Phoenix. And as far as the forecast goes, it remains warm, nearing 100 there. Kansas City on the hotter side, but cooler than they have been. 90 in St. Louis and 111 in Phoenix. Well, lots of rain around this trough of low pressure. A little unusual to see a trough of low pressure dig so far south. Not the standard for summer months. Typically the flow is from west to east across the state. Winds will be out of the southwest at 5 to 10 knots tomorrow for boaters, and then up to 15 knots in the afternoon. That southwest to west wind will create dangerous rip currents once again up and down area beaches. As far as the 7-day forecast goes, we're calling for a 60% chance for showers and a few isolated thunderstorms overnight and tomorrow at any time during the day. Coastal showers mainly on Wednesday and Thursday in the morning, and then inland storms in the afternoon. Then we get back to those late afternoon and evening storms coming back toward the coast, something we haven't seen much this summer. High temperatures will still be pretty close to seasonal averages, right around 90. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. Victims of the Las Vegas shooting now find themselves the subject of a lawsuit. MGM Resorts International suing more than 1,000 victims of the mass shooting to avoid any liability claims from that massacre. Some shooting victims now speaking out. ABC's Danya Backus has the latest.
Outrage and anger.
I'm disgusted in fact that I've already lost my son and now they want to sue me.
Survivors of the Las Vegas massacre are in disbelief that they are being sued by MGM, which owns the Mandalay Bay where Stephen Paddock carried out the worst mass shooting in U.S. history, killing 58.
To find out that this huge company, MGM Resorts, is suing me, I mean, how do you deal with that?
MGM Resorts International is suing nearly 1,000 victims in at least 7 states. The hotel attempting to use an obscure post-9/11 law for acts of terror that could protect them from liability. In a statement, MGM saying we are not asking for money or attorney's fees, but what they are seeking, a preemptive ruling to not be held liable against people who may sue.
It enrages me to think this company can just try to skip out on their responsibilities and their liability.
Jason McMillan, a sheriff's deputy who was shot and paralyzed during the attack, says the lawsuit is forcing him to relive the worst night of his life. The victims now vowing to continue their legal fight.
They're not going to get away with anything. We'll keep this going as long as it takes.
MGM is arguing that the shooting qualifies as an act of terrorism and that federally certified security services were used at the concert venue. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A 12-story building on Miami Beach crumbles to the ground, leaving one person injured. Police say demolition was going on, but it's not clear why that structure collapsed. The Marlboro House condo building had a permit on file for demolition, but not an implosion permit. The building was scheduled for demolition to make way for a new 19-story tower on the beachfront property. The person who was hurt was taken to a local hospital in unknown condition. Election supervisors are reminding voters across Florida that they must be registered with major political parties in order to vote in partisan primary elections next month. Democrats and Republicans will be choosing candidates for U.S. Senate, governor, 2 state cabinet races, and a host of congressional and legislative seats. Since Florida is a closed primary state, independent voters and citizens registered with minor political parties will not be allowed to cast ballots in those contests. However, there are still a significant number of nonpartisan local races that everyone can participate in.
Some of the top ticket races, you have to be a part, register with a party. But for the down ticket races, a lot of those are going to be nonpartisan.
The state has nearly 13 million total registered voters. President Trump scheduled to come to Tampa next week. Trump will hold a rally for Congressman Ron DeSantis for his gubernatorial campaign. He will also be at Tampa Bay Technical High School to promote and highlight vocational technical education and training. Today, Governor Rick Scott announcing his latest proposal of his Make Washington Work plan, requiring Congress to work full-time in order to receive their full salary. Scott's proposal would require members to put in a full work week, whether in Washington or in their districts, in order to keep their annual salary. Governor Scott said in a press release that for too long, career politicians have been getting away with putting in the minimum effort possible to keep their jobs. This is unacceptable, is what he had to say. Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
New tonight on Kimmel, Justin Theroux and Jimmy do some male bonding. You know what guys do. Plus, Lauren Cohan, Jimmy breaks down The Bachelorette, and what are these thumbs up to?
Tweeting, eating, tweeting.
Emmy-nominated Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Ray Collins. Sarasota County Schools will swear in their first ever police chief. We'll tell you what Paul Grohowski says he plans to do to keep students safe in the schools. A preview tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
Ray, we're continuing to monitor an area of low pressure spinning in the deep south, sending little waves of energy our way, enhancing rainfall chances.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now, before it's too late.
Make us fly! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Now, sports.
The Rays at home tonight hosting the Yankees at the bottom of the 6th. The Rays up by 2 with runners on the corners. Jesus Sucre lines one to the right off of Chad's Green for the RBI single. Rays take home the win by 1 point. Final score 7-6. Well, Ryan Lochte posted a photo for the world to see, and the U.S. anti-doping agency noticed, causing him to get suspended once again. The U.S. swimming star announced today that he has been suspended from competition for 14 months following a doping violation. Lochte, who moved back to Gainesville to train for the 2020 Olympics, says he and his wife took an intravenous infusion in May because their children were sick and they did not want to get sick also. Lochte posted about the infusion on Instagram, which led to a USADA's investigation. Lochte's suspension will end in July of 2019. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
I need medical exams, things like that.
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
Florida's coral reefs are declining. Bad news for our oceans and marine life. Fortunately, you can help, and you don't have to dive, you just have to drive. When you purchase Moat's Protect Our Reefs license plate, $25 goes directly to Moat Marine Laboratory, whose research, restoration, and conservation programs are helping this precious natural resource thrive once again. So get your Moat Protect Our Reefs license plate today. You just might hold the key to saving Florida's reefs.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
We'll take a look at this video shared online by the Anna Maria Island Chamber of Commerce. Hundreds, dozens, I guess, of sea turtles that were hatchlings that are heading towards the ocean. The chamber says they survived a nesting season because of the help of those who live and visit Anna Maria Island. And those dark orangish lights, I think, is what they were referred to, that kind of help so that they don't go towards the opposite
thinking
direction.
that's the moon or something like that. Absolutely. Yeah, we were out there at Braden Beach and saw a lot of nests. You know, there are a lot out there this year, and hopefully there's no storms around or any hurricanes or anything like that. Keep our fingers crossed. We have just a few showers overnight and a possible of an isolated thunderstorm.
All right, thank you, Bob, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Have a good evening.